What's up, guys, man? It's Fight Kid TV. We got a new video right now called Supernormal Abilities in Kung Fu, man. Let's check it out.
Leaping effortlessly over walls, standing on things that shouldn't hold the weight of a human body, or walking on water. We have seen what they call wire fu in Chinese kung fu movies for years. But while you may think that this is just directors using creative license, it didn't come out of nowhere. This is based on a skill called qing or lightness skill, and there really are written records of this supernormal power throughout Chinese history. So in this video, we are going to go through a load of them. This is Supernormal Abilities in Kung Fu, Episode 1, Qing.
That's the biggest cap.
In China, there are two major religious schools of Kung Fu, Shaolin and Wudang, each with its own temple and many different arts that have developed from the original root styles. It is commonly believed that the Indian monk Bodhidharma is the grandfather of Shaolin Kung Fu. After he meditated in front of a wall for 9 years, he taught the monks of the Shaolin.
Hold on, man. Bro, sit in front of a wall and meditate for 9 years. Oh my goodness. That just remind me of the dude off of Hunter X. The dude who did 10,000 punches a day. Yeah. That boy came back with some shit. We leave in the comments and you know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Put his name in the comments, man. Long hair.
Shaolin Temple, a set of exercises that formed the basis of the fighting style. But before he even got to the Shaolin Temple, when he was still traveling through China, he is said to have floated across a river standing on a single reed stalk. This act is the subject of numerous paintings, and people throughout Chinese history really believe that this happened. Today, Shaolin monks try to recreate this the best they can, like this monk running across a small wooden board that sink as soon as you touch them for 180 meters or about 380 feet. But it doesn't look in any way supernatural. It's still impressive, but this really isn't the floating on a very small object on water that Bodhidharma supposedly did. Anyway, floating on a reed to cross a river, or 一苇渡江, and just walking on water in general, 轻功水上漂, are two of several types of commonly known lightness skills from China. 渡江 and just walking on water in general, 轻功水上漂, are two of several types of commonly known in general, 轻功
I'm trying to get my shit on.
一苇渡江 and just walking on water in general, 轻功水上漂 are two of several types of commonly known skills in Chinese history. Another one is 飞檐走壁, or leaping over eaves and vaulting over walls. This is what you see in the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There is an account of a man named Chen Guang in the ancient book Bei Shi, or the history of the northern dynasties. When Chanding Temple was first established, there was a flagpole there that was over 10 zhang tall. 1 zhang is about 3.3 meters, so it would have been 33 meters or 108 feet tall. The rope holding the flag snapped and there was no one who could reach it. But then Chen Guang told the Buddhist monks that he would go up and attach the rope. The monks there were surprised at this. Chen Guang held the rope in his mouth, patted the pole and went up directly to the top. After attaching the rope, he let go with his hands and feet and traveled downwards through the air. He pushed against the ground with his palm and he traveled backwards over 10 steps. Those watching were astonished. There was no one who wasn't surprised, and the people of the time then called him 肉飞仙 or flesh-flying immortal. Now, from this story, it's hard to know whether he jumped to the top of the pole or he climbed up. It just says he patted the pole and went up directly to the top, so it could mean something more like this.
Fucking graphics and putting out these fake-ass games.
Which is still good, but I mean, there are rock climbers in modern times who've done similar things. That guy's dead now, by the way. He died in a fall. And that fact makes the next part of the story about Chen Guang all the more intriguing. He supposedly flew down through the air from a height of 100 feet and made contact with the ground with his palm before moving backwards or maybe rolling backwards across the ground for a distance of 10 steps. That part doesn't seem humanly possible. There are videos online of Wudang masters running up walls where it just looks like they are patting them with their hands and feet, kind of like doing parkour, and then jumping off from heights that almost seem deadly. But we're still not talking about heights of 100 feet, it's like 20 to 30 feet at most. So being able to fly through the air from a height of 100 feet,
that dude was doing.
Heights that almost seem
like when he was doing this shit right here.
And feet,
masters
right running up walls where it just looks like they are patting them with their hands and
not
feet,
that other stuff that dude jump 100 feet down.
Off from heights that almost seem deadly. But we're still not talking about heights of 100 feet. It's like 20 to 30 feet at most. So being able to fly through the air from a height of 100 feet and not being injured when you hit the ground does sound like a supernormal ability. Next, we have another skill that is part of qing gong, and that is 壁虎游枪功, or the skill of geckos traveling on walls. There is an account of legendary 八卦形意 and Tai Chi master Sun Lutang, who lived from 1860 to 1933, demonstrating this skill. He was able to ascend a smooth vertical wall and have the back of his body stick to it like a gecko or a painting hanging on the wall. After a couple of minutes, he came down. This skill was not unique to Sun Lutang. It has been written about throughout history. There is a book written by Xingyi Kung Fu master Li Zhongxuan, who would have been active in the 1930s when Sun Lutang was around. In the book, which is called Shi Qu de Wulin, he makes the case that the late Republican period in China around 1930 was the last time there were real high-level masters practicing martial arts in mainstream Chinese society. After 1949, when China was taken over by the communist regime, many of the skills have been watered down or lost to history. Li himself disappeared from the public eye in 1949 at the age of 34 and died in 2004, leaving behind the book, which was then published after his death. It aroused some controversy in the martial arts community since it describes masters of that time in the 1930s and 40s having skills somewhat similar to what has been written about in martial arts novels and historical writings throughout history, thus exposing how modern martial arts have degenerated, and even the modern grandmasters of various styles don't have the level of skill that their masters once had. This
boy, I stand on what he said. I stand on what that man said. Oh my God, he could have said it more better than that. But okay, we're gonna speak on this real quick. Let's talk about this right quick. My pride of motive in life is to reach the masters of the back in the day. This is why we're watching this video. You feel me? And the thing about it is, about what just happened is, I was gonna watch this video with y'all and pause it and try my best to explain to you what I am trying to do. And this man is putting everything, explain what's going on, what the martial art world and stuff like that going on in the timeline. And what I'm trying to do is trying to really find my way, put my way through the training, mental, and spiritual way of the back in the day people, how they do kung fu and the power they do. Not no power like superpowers, but the techniques they do on their level today. That's what I'm trying to do. It's what the whole this is pretty much the background of this channel is about. You hear me? My journey. You feel me? Know what I'm saying? I came a long way. I came to the point I feel like, you know what, it's this man, do YouTube videos and, you know what I'm saying, pass them techniques and shit and let the people witness. If I do get to that stage, let the people witness. You feel me? The journey that I had to go to. It ain't easy, but we doing it. And hey, so far, I don't regret nothing. Alright.
Point is also backed up by statements from other masters who were around at the time. Kung Fu teacher Bruce Francis recounts his teacher Liu Hongqie, who was around in Beijing in the Republican era and learned Bagua Zhang from Ma Gui, one of the original students of Bagua's founder Dong Haichuan, saying prior to 1928 there was a very strong martial arts community in Beijing, consisting of people who really understood Kung Fu. He said there were many who played at it and did not have Kung Fu, but there were about 200 who really had it. Francis was the only Westerner and one of very few students that Liu taught, but the skills Francis described Liu having far surpassed anything modern Kung Fu masters are capable of. Liu only weighed 110 pounds, yet Francis, weighing over 200 pounds, could not even move Liu's arm 1 inch. Liu could also supposedly physically move Francis through telepathy without even touching him during training in order to teach him the movements. Liu died in the 1980s. Why are modern martial artists unable to do such things? Well,
I'm trying to be like, hold on, bro. Let's go back. My bad. I'm trying to be like this when I'm old. I'm trying to be very spiritual, wise, strong. You feel me? Still teaching the game. Like ABC, bro. I'm trying to tell you, this is my goal, bro. I have a long way to go. I'm just saying, it's hard when I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like I chose this path. It chose me. But anyway.
110 pounds, yet Francis, weighing over 200 pounds, could not even move Liu's arm 1 inch. Liu could also supposedly physically move Francis through telepathy without even touching him during training in order to teach him the movements. Liu died in the 1980s. Why are modern martial artists unable to do such things? Well, in the words of Sun Lutang, when speaking about the supernatural side of Kung Fu, including skills such as qing, the key component seems to be morality. These are high-level skills. It is important to cultivate one's morality. If they are not supported by one's morality, then it is just a waste of effort to try and learn them. The root of all Chinese martial arts is either Buddhism or Taoism, and in the old days, in addition to the martial training, the moral teachings were equally important, and masters believed that elevating one's morality was actually more important for unlocking high-level skills than the physical training was. Now, this is just a theory, and I'm not trying to tell you what to think. But certainly from all the books I've read on Kung Fu, there are so many stories from masters in their 70s and 80s around the end of the 20th century talking about the level of skill in the Republican era and how much higher it was than today. Many masters who are now dead also demonstrated things that no one now knows how to do. So maybe morality is the answer to unlocking superpowers. Or maybe you just need to get bitten by a spider. I don't know, guys. Leave your comments below, let me know what you think, and let me know what supernormal ability in Chinese Kung Fu you would like to see in the next episode of this series.
Alright. Just let me know what in the comments what he just said. You know, like what you want to see next. And I'm gonna see if I can find him and go watch the video on it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really try to be entertaining. Sometimes it just comes out. I just gotta be honest. You know what I'm talking about? So like, you know, I'm working on myself to be better human being with the WAP. Yep. Hope y'all work on yourself too. You gotta be better, so we can have a better way of life for everybody. You know, and y'all keep on learning what y'all gotta do. Keep on getting that money, cause we gotta do what we want to do, and what we gotta do. We're gonna need money. Gonna have to need wealth. So we don't forget that. You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself and rest your body. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I leave on them notes, and